Once upon a time, in the great kingdom of Nyandala, there was a wicked tyrant named King Mugogo. He was as huge as a baobab tree, with arms as thick as elephant trunks, and a belly that could swallow a river. Mugogo ruled the land with an iron fist, demanding every village send him food, gold, and even young women to serve in his palace. But there was one woman who refused to be owned, Zuru, the daughter of a humble hunter. She was as swift as the wind, as clever as a hare, and as beautiful as the first rain after a long drought. When Mugogo set his greedy eyes on her, he declared, "By the next full moon, she will be mine." But Zuri had other plans. On the night before Mugogo's warriors could seize her, she fled into the deep Mahari forest, a land whispered to be filled with spirits, wild beasts, and secrets older than time itself. She ran barefoot, the moonlight guiding her, the sound of her own breaths mixing with the night's music. But Mugogo was not a man to be denied. He sent his fastest warriors, a pack of brutal men who could track a bird's shadow in the sky. For 3 days and nights, Zuri ran, hiding in trees, swimming through rivers, and eating wild berries to survive. Just as she thought she had escaped, the sound of pounding drums filled the air. The warriors had caught her scent. They chased her to the edge of a high cliff, where below the roaring river Nyoka twisted like a serpent. With nowhere left to go, Zuri closed her eyes and whispered, "Spirits of the land, if my fate is to be free, then let me fly." Then Rolea, from the darkness came a mighty lion, its golden mane glowing like fire. But this was no ordinary beast. Upon its back sat a young warrior, Prince Jabari, the rightful heir to the kingdom of Nyandala, who had been living in exile since Mugogo stole his father's throne. With a swift motion, Jabari pulled Zuri onto the lion's back, and together they leapt off the cliff. Instead of falling, the lion soared, landing safely on the other side of the river. The warriors were left behind, gaping in shock as their prey escaped. Jabari smiled at Zuri. "You are either very brave or very foolish," she said. Zuri smirked. "Sometimes they are the same thing." Together they rode toward Jabari's hidden camp, where warriors trained to overthrow Mugogo. Inspired by Zuri's courage, Jabari gathered his people, and with their combined strength, they stormed the tyrant's palace. A great battle shook the land, and in the end Mugogo fell, not by a sword, but by the weight of his own greed, tumbling into the very dungeons where he had imprisoned so many. With the kingdom free once more, Jabari reclaimed his throne, and by his side stood Zuri, not as a queen in need of saving, but as a warrior who had saved herself. And so, the kingdom of Nyandala was reborn, with a lion prince and the swift huntress ruling together, side by side.